Hello everyone and welcome to the Festival of Marketing and this kind of provocation for the workshop that we're going to do. And I'm delighted that we've got Martin George, who's the Customer Director for Waitrose, but also one of our most experienced and brilliant marketers in the UK at the moment. Big you up. Martin, it's been a really challenging time. And actually, for somebody like Waitrose, where food has been so important and that customer journey has changed really quite dramatically over the last 9 months, what have been the kind of key things that you've been looking at from a marketing and from a customer point of view during this time?
I think you're right, Suki. It's been a hugely challenging time for everybody. And the food sector, the grocery sector really has been put under enormous pressure for all the reasons that you describe. I think for us, we decided very early on that the most important thing, bar none, was to look after the well-being of our customers and our partners, our staff, our employees, and that this was the time that, as a brand, whether it's John Lewis or Waitrose, we had to make sure that was.
Sorry, that's my phone. I turned it off, but we're gonna have to start that bit again. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
That is to remind me to take my cancer medication, and if I don't press the button, it just keeps going and going and getting louder.
Well, can we just make sure that you don't forget that, please?
I did it before we started, but I
forgot. Okay, good.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, Martin. Right, we were so close to the beginning. We'll just start it again.
That's fine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone and welcome to the Festival of Marketing and this provocation to think about what we're going to do to be able to inspire and get people to grow within marketing and agencies in the future. And I've got Martin George with me today, who's the Customer Director for Waitrose. Hi Martin.
Hi Suki, good to be here.
Well, thank you. And it's great to have Martin because not only customer director at Waitrose, but just a very experienced marketer and has worked across lots of different businesses. But during this time, Martin, it's been a very challenging time, but actually for Waitrose, a very key part of everyone's lives because food has been very important. But the customer journey has changed, I mean, almost quite unimaginably over the last 9 months. What have been some of the key challenges for you as a marketing and a customer focused marketer during this time?
Gosh, yeah, it's been an incredibly challenging time for everybody, Suki, over the last few months, not least the food, the grocery sector. I think without question, what we decided very early on was that bar none, our top priority had to be to look after the well-being, the health and safety of our customers and our staff, our partners. And at all times, we've kept a very clear focus on ensuring that we do absolutely nothing to compromise the well-being of our partners and our customers. And we've continued to communicate on a very regular basis to both partners and customers what we're doing to demonstrate that in what we're doing in store. And we've done that in store, we've done that online, we've done through that marketing activity. And that has without doubt taken precedence over our commercial agenda for obvious reasons. So really thinking about how our customers feel and the challenges that they face in their everyday lives and trying to do everything we possibly can to help them has been our top priority.
And with that amount of change, then thinking about how it's going to change and evolve further, or perhaps go back to some of the ways that people shopped before COVID happened. How are you thinking about that, Martin?
Well, there's no doubt that what has happened over the last 6 to 9 months is that some of the trends that we had been experiencing before have been accelerated. The most obvious one, of course, being shopping online. So for us, pre-COVID, about 5% of our business was probably online. We're now talking about 15% of our business being online. Clearly, from a John Lewis point of view, there was a period when we were a pure play. All of our business was online. So that has obviously placed some very big demands on our business, not least fulfillment, making sure our website has worked effectively, shifting our marketing emphasis. So it's undoubtedly put big pressure on us in ensuring that we can compete with the pure plays. And I suspect that whilst in our case, some of the business will we'll perhaps return to maybe 10 to 12% of our business being online. It certainly won't go back to 5%. So that's accelerated that trend. Equally, digital media. Clearly, the consumption of all digital media has changed beyond all recognition. And again, that's a change, that's permanent. So I think, like many other people, we're seeing much greater use of all the social media channels. The content that we're putting online has been consumed at levels that we've never seen before. And I think that has been super exciting, but it's undoubtedly placed a challenge on us as a team to make sure that we have the capability, we have the skills to support that from a marketing point of view.
And again, so during this time, a lot of marketers have said that they've been working quite differently with their agencies. They've been collaborating very much. We've seen agencies really step up in very challenging environments to work and help and support clients. What kind of things have you seen that have been working really well?
Well, I have to say, our agency's been absolutely brilliant. So whether it's Adam and Eve, whether it's John Brown, whether it's Manning Gottlieb, just as three examples, and many others I could add to that list, they've all been absolutely brilliant. And, their commitment has been extraordinary. The insight that they've brought from their other clients, from their other industries, their customer insight has been phenomenal. The data they've brought to the table has been incredibly valuable. And I think there's a really strong even stronger sense of collaboration with our agency partners, not only working on a bilateral basis, but also working on a multilateral basis. And that way of working is something that we are absolutely committed to continue. I think it's always tempting to sort of partly give the agencies the answer, whereas actually what we've done is we've shared the challenges with the agencies. And that, I think, has helped us end up with much better results. We've included them in our strategic thinking. We have discussed the options with them. We've talked about the strengths and downsides of different options. And I think as a result, we've created better outcomes. We've worked at greater pace, with greater flexibility, with greater agility. And whilst it's been very tough, I think we've all felt a greater sense of involvement. And I think the quality of the output has been greater as a consequence. And I'm really, really determined that we don't go back to the old ways of working. And at times I wonder why we worked in those ways. I think it's been a revelation. And I just applaud the agency response to the challenges that we've faced. And I'm deeply grateful to them all.
Well, what a lovely thing to say, Martin. And they will love that. And I'm sure lots of other agencies will feel that same sense of working with some of their clients. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because I don't think any of us couldn't have realized how clients and agencies could work more collaboratively together. It's just, we always had a reason, which was, well, you've got to understand the client company is so big, it's a PLC, it's driven in this particular way, marketing hierarchy, whatever it was, or agencies just haven't kind of caught up. So there's been loads of reasons why it didn't happen before. I think the challenge is, how do you stop it from not going back? So let's look forward now. What kind of things are you going to put in place to be able to continue to motivate your teams to be able to collaborate with those agencies and work together as we go forward?
It's a great question. On several occasions over the last 6 months, we've stepped back and thought about what we've experienced in the sort of heat of the crisis and the things that we want to preserve for the future. And there is absolutely no question that people have seen enormous benefit in including the agencies in the strategic thinking. And that's something which we will absolutely do. And we will formalise that. So we're already having conversations about what the 2021 programme will look like. And we'll talk about the objectives that we've got as a brand, as a business. And we will talk about the possible solutions. And we'll do that work in a collaborative way with our agencies and really make sure that there's a strong sense of co-creation. And that co-creation is going to be best enabled by a deep understanding of what the business is trying to achieve and really capitalizing on the enormous capability that we have in our agencies. They bring to the table expertise that they have across the world with their other clients that they've generated over time. And I really want to make sure we're taking full advantage of that. So I think it's a mindset. And I think actually, I won't have an issue with our team in embracing that mindset because they've seen the benefits of it over the last 6 months, Suki. So I think we've got to know each other better than we've ever done. I mean, there's a sort of strange reality that when we've worked remotely, we've actually got to know each other better personally. You know, we're seeing each other's houses every time we do a Zoom call. We're seeing each other's kids. We're seeing their pets. We're seeing their decor. We've had social events remotely. We've had quizzes remotely. We've got to know each other really, really well. And actually, in adversity, we've built really strong personal relationships, and that's going to serve us well for the future. I've got no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen you in all sorts of casual shirts.
Yeah, that's right. You probably see me in the same one far too often, actually. So I'm conscious of that. but it's really interesting because we've all worked extraordinarily hard over the last 6 months, and everybody's done that. And I think it's been extraordinary to observe. But I think people have built really strong and deep and meaningful personal relationships with one another and with their clients. And I think that will just be so powerful and so valuable as we move forward. We were, as a team, we were meeting every single day, 7 days a week at the very start of the crisis. And you just had to have some downtime together. You couldn't continue at that kind of pace with that intensity, just talking about work. You had to have some light relief. And our agencies were part of that. And it's really built strong relationships. And I think we all know that productive relationships are often founded on mutual respect, on enjoying each other's company and understanding how one another ticks. And that's definitely happened more than I've ever experienced in my entire life over the last 6 months.
Yeah, and that kind of, now I think that sense of energy that people have had, but now have to kind of get again to be able to keep going. Because, as this sort of moment which we keep calling kind of COVID-2, I think everyone's having to breathe quite deeply and go, okay,
that's absolutely right.
We're going to have to go again. It's not the light that we thought. Christmas is going to be really tough.
I think that's right, Suki. And I think what we've all learned is that everybody has good days and bad days. And, very early on, I think we all learned, well, we didn't learn, I think we were all very honest about how hard it was in the first few days and weeks. And demonstrating that vulnerability, I think, really helped bring people together. And I think in the old days, I'm talking about the old days, I'm talking about, pre-COVID, that means old days. There was a sort of, all the way back
there. 9 months ago, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, early in 2020, there was a sort of sense that if you were senior or you were more experienced, then you had the answers to all of life's problems. This is unprecedented for everybody. Nobody can pretend they've ever experienced anything like this. And people just admitting that and admitting the fact that they were anxious, personally or professionally, just brought us all together. It was massively galvanizing. And it just meant that, you could sense when somebody was having a tough day, and then we all felt a sense of stepping in and supporting each other. And I think that's really helped provide this much firmer foundation as we have to go again and face the challenges of the next 3 to 6 months, which, as you say, are likely to be similar to what we've experienced. So I think we've all learned probably more than we even imagine about how to handle challenges or crises. And that's a life lesson, and that will serve us all well for the future.
Yeah. And then just finally, we have children about the same sort of age. And, if you've got any of them or other people that are thinking about coming into this industry, what would encourage them to come into this industry at this particular moment in time? Because, we know this, our talent is so vital. And it's easy to just go, do you know what? It's a really tough place, and I'm not sure you should be here at this moment. Give us some of your wonderful optimism around inspiring people to bring that talent into the industry.
So, gosh, I mean, I still think marketing is the best possible place to work in any business. I felt that for my entire life, and I still feel that. Why? Because I think we bring optimism and hope and inspiration and excitement to every business. And I think that's the best place to be. We bring energy, we bring purpose. And I think that's just a brilliant role to play in any business. We bring the customer into the room. We bring the customer into the business. We horizon scan. We talk about the art of the possible. We make things happen. And I just think that energy, I just think is the most brilliant place to be. And when you see it at its best, it's just so inspiring, and it's the reason to get out of bed every day. So, you know, I'm really optimistic about the future of marketing, because I think every business needs to be customer centric. It needs to bring the customer into the room. It needs to think about how you translate customer needs into meaningful propositions, into meaningful communication, to grow and develop and add shareholder value. And I think no function is better qualified to do that. And I think our time is now. We have to bring hope. I think hope is motivating. We don't need any more fear. There's always plenty of that. There's always plenty of things to worry about. The thing that inspires employees and inspires customers is hope. And that's what we bring to every business.
Thank you, Martin. What a brilliant conversation to just cover so many things that we need to think about in the workshop next week. That's going to, give us an opportunity to think about how we can grow, how we can keep some of the brilliant things that we have learned during this time, but also focus on, hopefully a bright future. Thanks, Martin.
Quite right. Anytime. Thank you. Bye-bye.